Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
So you get off the phone.
Well, first they said, well, what do you think they're going to do? And he was like, I just imagine they're probably going to resect part or all of it. And I said, well, what does resect mean? And he said, remove.
Like, say normal, do it in a normal word.
I feel like I've gone to medical school, but I didn't understand what resect meant. So, because I is smart. So, so anyway, he's like, remove. And I go, but isn't it in my brain? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so they're going to remove it out of my brain. Like, that was just too much for me
Jim
to
hear
Yes,
you
I'm talking.
This other part of the conversation.
I mean, Jim's white anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just completely vanished.
Yeah.
So, anyway, then a series of crazy coincidences, suspense, mystery thriller.
Okay, wait.
Read it, buy my book.
What's the name of the book?
It's called When Life Gives You Pears.
Okay, just wait. You hang up the phone.
Yeah.
What is the first thing out of either your mouth or Jim's mouth?
I said, we have to go to the radiology center and get the scans because that's the last thing that my ENT said. He said, go to the radiology center, get the scans, and bring them to the surgeon. He said, I haven't seen the scans. I only see a report that says you have a mass in your brain. It's not down your ear. So now it's out of my neighborhood. So you need to bring a scan. All these neurosurgeons are going to need the report and they're going to need the scan in order to see you as a new patient. It was like all of a sudden all this work that I had to do. I had to go get the scan, but I was like...
is Jim like freaking the fuck out?
He's freaking the fuck out, but he's quiet. And he says, whatever you need. He's just it's like I kind of took over. Like I didn't fall apart and start crying. Right. Like, what am I gonna do, husband?
Because
I was like, "Come on, Jim, we're going."
We have to. It was like another thing you had to figure out.
Yeah, it was like everything else, just completely like the pile of emails, the kids, like everything. I was like, someone else is gonna deal with that because we have to go to that radiology center, get the scans. And that we can't do anything without it because we have to get a doctor that looks at the scans. Like we have kind of a plan. So after I got all the scans, I bought like 4. I was like, money is no object when it comes to my scans. I came back and I tried to start making appointments with neurosurgeons. So they were like, May 21st. I'm like, I was like, well, I have a mass in my brain. And they're like, can you send us a report?
Right.
So I would call, they're like, oh, it's on the patient portal.
Of the choroid plexus.
That's right.
Thank you.
They thought it was a meningioma on the scan.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad.
But it turned out to be choroid plexus, and which is mostly meningiomas are found in middle-aged women. Mm-hmm. It's a common benign brain tumor, and choroid plexus are found in children. So it was when they discovered it from the lab results that it was a choroid plexus. I was very flattered because I had the tumor of a much younger woman.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah,
So you're really not as old as you think you are.
Well, at least my tumor isn't.
Yeah.
It just goes on and on,
but
Judy.
What do you say to the kids, or do you say?
Oh my God, a chapter.
And do you tell any friend
A very few, because what we did was, first of all, there's a whole nother part of this. Like that is like day 1. I'm on day 1 right now.
Are you crying?
No, not at all.
Is Jim crying?
Nope. Because we don't know what it is. It's a mass in my brain at this point.
When do you finally go, oh my God, this is a mass? Like, when does it finally hit you, I have a brain tumor?
Okay. So basically, I couldn't get a hold of anyone. So I called my friend who I grew up in Milwaukee with. And I never told you how my parents wound up in Milwaukee, but suffice to say that my brilliant Jewish grandmother got a job as a professor in like Champaign-Urbana School of Music. And the grandfather, who turned out to be he strayed from my grandmother, was a professor at Marquette. And and when you are a professor at Marquette, you get free tuition for your kids.
Okay.
So that's how they wound up in Milwaukee. And that's how my parents met and settled in Milwaukee. But anyway, I grew up in Milwaukee. My friend from childhood became a neurologist. He's still my friend from high school and grade school. And I texted him and said, can you help me out here? Because I have this scan. I can't read it on my computer. Can we send it to you? And you could tell because I have an appointment in May. Yeah. And I can't wait that long because I have some mass in my brain. And I just want your opinion. So Jim goes to FedEx, sends it to John. We carry on. We have dinner. I order pizza because I didn't cook anything. I didn't have any groceries. I was dealing with this all day. So my kids are like, pizza? It's like kind of a nice night, right? Yeah. And they're like, what? What did we do to deserve pizza? So I'm like, Mom, I had a brain tumor. But I never heard tumor. Mass in my brain at this point. Yeah. Jim and I go to a premiere of a film that night. It's totally like we're both thinking about it, but we're like not thinking about it. So the next morning I drop off the kids at school. I get home. My friend John calls me and he's like, this is not good news. Yeah. And I go, what do you mean? And he texts me a picture. He goes, I'm looking at your MRI. And he texts me a picture and I see my skull what appears to be an inverted pear in the middle of my brain. Okay. But quite big. Right. There's pictures in the book of it. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, the tumor is compressing your brainstem and it doesn't make any sense how you're walking around. And if you were here, I would get you into the OR today. And this guy is a calm doctor, poker face, atheist, like science.
All science.
And he was like, God be with you. It was like, it was big. So
then do you cry?
No, I panicked because I said, John, I don't have a doctor. I can't get in until May. He loves me, so he answered me. So he said, well, you need a plan. You need to make a plan. And I said, I have no plan. And I said, can you give me a plan? And usually I don't ask people for plans. Right. I make the plans, but I'm like, can you give me a plan? He goes, okay, this is what I would do. Because he's a doctor. They don't know how hard it is to get in to see a doctor, a good doctor.
And here, he's a doctor there.
But also he's not a patient anywhere. But he knows the inside.
Right.
So he said, this is what I would do. I would take your scan. I would go Google the best neurosurgery department in the city of New York and go to the ER at that hospital with your scan. And they're going to pop that scan in and be like, well, I guess she's going up to the top floor to the neurosurgery department because we can't do anything here. And then they're going to admit you when they see that brain tumor. Because the neurosurgeons I made appointments with were like, bring your scan to the first appointment.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I would be dead as a doornail. And we would not be having this lovely conversation on your podcast. So anyway, that's what I did. And a series of like the Red Sea parted. There was no name recognition. There was nothing. I just literally some series of doors opened and I barged into I didn't even go to the ER. I went to the head chief of neurosurgery through a series of the ENT guy. Right. I called him and I said, I'm not seeing those guys. You can cancel those appointments because I wanted to keep him in the loop. I'm like, I'm going to the ER because I knew I might not live, know. So I thought he should know. And he was like, no, don't go to the ER. He's like, I know people at Mount Sinai. I only gave you the other place because it's close to downtown. And He goes, I will call Mount Sinai. So he calls Mount Sinai, but his colleague was in Florida. So she calls Mount Sinai, and an assistant at Mount Sinai calls me on my cell phone, and I'm in the cab right by Mount Sinai. And she goes, one of the doctors just got a thing canceled that he's going to be in the office for 45 minutes. Do you want to come in?
OMG.
And I walked, he didn't know my name. I walked in. He's the chief of neurosurgery, Dr. Joshua Betterson, and saved my life. Got me into surgery on Monday. Scanned.
This was what day?
This was Thursday.
Wow.
Friday was Good Friday. By the way, not Jewish, but
Yes.
you know, gets
Well, it's right
okay.
around Passover.
Yeah. And
Wait, so you walk in, you show him the scan. That's the first time he sees the scan?
I gave the scan to someone who took it into his office.
Oh, so he saw it before you walked in the office.
It was on his screen when
And
I
you
walked in the office.
What was his face like?
Very like he was just like, this is a challenge. And he's like, this is how I would deal with this.
Were you with Jim?
I was with Jim. And we sat down, and this genius told me how he was going to, and he was worried about my facial nerve. And he showed me, I felt like I was in medical school.
Uh-huh.
He did not talk down to me. He told me what he would do.
What's Jim doing?
Jim said, can you do it today? Because just see this thing. It was like an alien.
Oh, that's awful. And you're sitting there thinking, I have 5 kids. I
said, am I going to die?
Yeah. And he said,
I don't think you're going to die. Or he said, you're not going to die. He said, you're not going to die. But it said it like, this is not like death that we're talking about. This is something.
like serious.
Yeah, it's like, it was like, but you're going to be paralyzed, but you're going to, I could see that's what we were dealing with.
Yeah.
And, but all I heard was I wasn't going to die. That's all I heard. I was so happy.
Yeah.
He was like, it's your facial nerve is in jeopardy because it's running down the middle. And I was like, I could be a head in a jar if I'm raising my kids.
Yeah.
I'll be, I'll be the mom with a paralyzed face.
Yeah.
I don't care. I have a husband already. I'm not
Bell's palsy. Yeah.
I'm not trying to pick up guys.
Yeah.
Yet. No. So I was, and then when I was leaving, Leslie Schlachter, the PA.
Sorry.
Yeah. Formerly played for the Israeli basketball team.
No way.
Olympic. Yeah. His PA. Amazing. Amazing woman. Jewish. Yeah. Yeah. And she was like, she's the Jeannie Gaffigan. He's the Jim Gaffigan, right? So she's doing the schedules. And so she's like, I understand if you wanted to get another opinion. And I go, what? Are you kidding me? Another opinion? I'm like,
I have
it's
my
love
opinion.
at first sight.
Yes.
I'm coming in the next day. Cancel all the Good Friday. The schools are out. I'm like,
so it's also that. So Easter Sunday.
Yeah. And it was like I had the weekend off and I went on a Monday. So on that weekend, all I did was normal stuff because Leslie told me, don't make your will. Don't go beyond a week. Don't think a week beyond.
Yeah.
So you're going to go in on Monday. Enjoy the weekend with your kids. Have dinner.
I would have cried at that point. Enjoy the weekend with your kids.
Yeah.
As if like, this is your last,
No, she was like, just
have fun and don't think about it.
She was just like, just enjoy the moments of your life.
Yes.
Because basically you're having this serious surgery on Monday. What are you going to do? Cry all weekend?
Yes.
Like
It's not going to do anything. It's not
I
going
have
to
to tell you that even when Jim was a little bit like, I mean, it's these situations where you get into like fights. So I decided.
Wait, did Jim take the weekend off?
Yes, totally.
Love you, Jim.
Well, also he already had that weekend off because it was Easter.
Oh, right.
But I'm telling you, for the next 3 months, he canceled all his gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Like he took care of me. Like I was incapacitated. I was
Right.
on tubes. But he got mad at me because that Saturday, I locked the kids out of here, and I was helping the Easter Bunny make all the Easter baskets. And he comes in and goes, don't you want to be spending time with your kids? I'm like, who's going to make their Easter baskets?
Oh, my God.
Like, it was like weird stuff. Like, I was like, it was so important for me to make those baskets.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with a Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
I had read that you got headaches and you were dizzy, but you just ignored it. And then the hearing thing. But you had mentioned something about a noise canceling headset.
Well, the noise canceling headset, that's not as big of a story because I've gone through the...
Yeah, no, but was that one of your first things?
I was on a plane from London. And the only way, because I'm so busy, because Jim did a gig and it's Christmas. And so kids were on break. So I was like, we're all going and we're going to go to this museum and that, whatever. And so it's a long flight. So I was wearing the headphones. And I was like, I always get the bad ones where one ear doesn't work. And then I went to go, wipe kid goo off an iPad or whatever. And I came and I sat down and I put the headphones on. They were twisted. But then I realized that the good phone also didn't work, and it was my ear. So it was just one of those things that when you have a noise-canceling headphone on, you can't hear from the other ear, so you realize how that you are deaf. Whereas other times you might be turning at parties, but you don't really notice it. So in my defense, it was the noise-canceling headphones that really showed me, because you don't usually walk down the street unless you're one of those people who wears noise-canceling headphones on the street. I've seen them, but it's not me. So that's what really showed me that my hearing was gone.
So it was you had all these signs, but you just ignored them.
Yes, but it was like, in my defense, I compartmentalized them.
Yeah.
I didn't think of them as related, or I would have been running into the yard.
Of course, I know. But I'm just for people to, if you feel dizzy, like for more than one day, or,
But also be quiet enough in your life and your activity to listen to yourself, because deep down, I must have known something was wrong.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of years, when I would stand up, I would see stars. And I always thought, it's kind of, maybe I'm not drinking enough water and all that stuff. But in the back of my head, I was like, I bet other people don't see stars when they stand up.
Right.
Or like get the spins. When I would like lift something, I would get like kind of like the head rush would happen.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, that's probably not good.
Yeah.
But then connecting the headache with the dizziness, with the head spins, with the deaf ear, it was obvious. It was like, I describe it as when at the end of The Usual Suspects, when you see the whole story, you're like, how did I not see that before?
Now, your surgery was 9 hours.
Yeah. It was actually 12, but 3 of it was not under the knife.
Oh, okay.
It's like, to me, I always heard 12.
Right.
And then I saw
but under the knife
9
for 9 hours. You come out of it. You're unconscious, right? You're still, like, after they take it out, are you? When's the next time you're conscious?
Yeah, like the next day when I woke up.
But did they go out and say to Jim?
Everyone was so happy when I woke up. I opened my eyes, and before I saw anybody,
right?
Because it wasn't like everyone was in my face like the Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. It was like I opened my eyes, and I had the thought, where, just for a second, I'm like, where am I? Okay, I'm in the hospital. I just had brain surgery. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm me. I'm exactly like I was before.
Oh, right.
And the fear was, what am I going to wake up like? Am I going to have memories? Am I
going to come out of this? Yeah.
Because you have to do the signature where you say you can pull the plug,
Wow.
So
did the kids know at this point, or did
yes?
Some
so
of the kids know?
Telling the kids is a chapter in the book, and we kind of told the kids at their age appropriate levels, and it was my eldest was the one who was like, I could see that she was like, oh, thanks a lot, Mom.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
But she was loving, but I could just tell in her eyes that she was like, goodbye, childhood,
Yeah. I mean, she's like you. She's the eldest of 5 and probably I mean, I look at her in those pictures, and she's, I love following you guys on social media, and she just seems like an old soul.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She always has. And she's also just really like capable. And I rely on her because the next one, I love him to death. My 13-year-old.
Yeah.
You and I have compared notes on the mom, the text.
I can't.
Mom. Where's the remote? Where's the remote?
From the other room. Like, get up.
Yeah.
Can you get me a glass? No, get your fucking ass up. Like, and don't text me and don't call me from the other room to get you something.
I mean, it's constant.
I know.
It's constant. And she's just like, I naturally gravitate towards the one who's capable. And I feel like it's a detriment. I also learn a lot of life lessons here about letting your kids fend for themselves.
Yes,
especially.
Very important.
Yeah.
And parents don't do that anymore. And that's why they're always like, oh my God. So this is an experience you had as Jeannie Gaffigan with your husband, Jim.
Yeah.
But it's your story. And I watched TV stuff, and I watched the Megyn Kelly interview.
Yeah.
They bring Jim out, and then he tells his part, and then, like, it's so, to me...
This is the story of my life. I mean, but here's the thing.
It's so fascinating.
It's a double-edged sword because it's like, this is the whole thing, though. What we have to admit is that nobody would care that I had a brain tumor if I wasn't the wife of Jim Gaffigan.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So that's why they bring him out. Do you understand? Because they don't care.
They would be, but you'd be on, like... Get some other show and be like, she wrote a hit book. She wrote a bestseller about having a brain tumor, and you are married and have 5, and it would be. I mean, I
can't separate it. Like I can't separate my journey. Like I could say, I don't think I'd be wallowing in obscurity. Like I feel like I was on. I mean, the whole Shakespeare on the Playground thing. I never met him. And I had visions of producing on Broadway and whatever. Right. I'm not going to be like, I could have been something without you. Or I would be wallowing in obscurity because that's the way life worked, is that we were together. If they want to wheel him out and say, look who gave her the brain tumor, it's comedian Jim. I don't care. Because the truth is that whatever, God cooked up, a billion years ago.
Right.
For some reason, Jim and I wound up together. I got the brain tumor. Maybe I only was offered to write a book because I'm Jim's wife. I don't know. I would never know that.
But it's also, I mean, I'm a leslie, so I haven't had this experience.
You are?
Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys.
I don't know about this.
Should I leave? So
Should I put some more clothes on? Or?
So I have had friends who have been, diagnosed with breast cancer, and like they're making a decision about whether or not they would like a fake boob or whatever. Yeah. And they say to the husband, well, how do you feel about it? It's like, shut the fuck up. I don't know. I just get it's a very misogynistic culture.
I mean, look, if I was in a same-sex couple and my wife was as famous as Jim, I'd be in the same situation. So, yes, it is misogynistic, but I also think it's fame.
It is fame. It is fame-ish.
So, but the thing is that like I can't separate myself from Jim's success. So to me, it's not like I married some famous guy.
But you're also part of his success.
Yeah, I didn't marry a famous guy. Guy. He was not famous when we got married. I have been around a really, really long time.
And also, I think part of the reason he's famous is because he has you.
I mean, I hope so. I think that I hear my voice in the very early.
Oh, please.
Because the thing is that
I'm wrapping it up.
And also, we didn't talk about the Imagine Society.
Oh, yes. Just tell quickly.
We didn't talk about the bris.
Okay.
I have I only can be on the show 2 times in my lifetime, and I should do a series.
You can.
We should do a series.
All right,
Judy and Jeannie show.
We could
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy
and Jeannie. Judge Jeannie. Isn't there a Judge Jeannie? The judges.
Yeah, yours could be Janine Pirro.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Judge Judy.
I'll be Judy Shineland, and you can be Janine Pirro. So you have this Imagine Society.
Yes. You're going to be part of it, by the way.
Yes, and I'm going to do
because our new thing is we are introducing comedian mentors.
Yeah, I would love it.
And so the last event we did was at Gotham.
Okay.
And we got these different youth service groups of different cultures from all over the city, but they all do the same things because they better their community. So we got the one group who's doing the garden betterment, the other one is making a food pantry.
Right.
That's the similar thread between them. The others are not. And we have an event where we invite these different groups, and we do a show, or we do some entertainment, or we do a basketball tournament, or whatever. And then we find a way, usually with pizza, to mix like all the 15-year-olds over here, all the whatever. And then they have to come up with a solution to a social problem.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they all work together. They have a team building thing. So you get the kids who are the Muslims and all the mix that you actually is like the world. Because people come in a bubble and they're like, only the kids from my church do good.
Yeah.
But that's not real. So it's like I came out of this near-death experience with the world in chaos. Everyone hated each other.
Yeah.
Everyone was calling each other out. By the way, Judy Gold just called someone out. Yeah. And it's crazy. There's like just people lying on. It's like 1984 or like Animal Farm.
I know.
It's insane. But the thing is, it's like I can't just sit there and just curse the darkness.
Yeah.
Like there's gotta be, and I feel like it's the kids.
It is.
It's the kids, and the kids have got to grow up and not be that.
I feel so bad that these fucking assholes don't care enough to leave our kids and grandkids
a world.
A world.
Did you see that show? Was it on HBO? That's called Years and Years.
No, is it good?
You have to see it.
I gotta write that down.
Years and Years. You have to see it.
That was just my notebook hitting the bell. Shut up.
Is my time up, or am I Jewish now? I don't know which one is
Years
which.
and Years.
It's
HBO.
called Years and Years. I think it's HBO.
Okay.
Somebody look that up for her. It's either Netflix or HBO. Years and Years. It's
okay. Thank you.
It's so amazing. It starts in 2020.
How about how you have like a staff and you can say, look that up, and they do it.
I know.
Come over to my house after.
This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
All right. So 2 last questions that I ask all my
Is it about the bris? Because
No.
Okay.
So, but you did have a bris for each one of your sons.
Okay, can I just tell this one story? And you could just divide this
Yeah.
up into like a year-long miniseries.
Yeah.
All right, so I had all my babies at home. My first boy, all of a sudden, I was like, oh, in the hospital is when they circumcised the
Yeah.
child. But Dr. Ben Kliegler was my pediatrician. Yes, Benjamin. Who also had home births. And so I called him up and I said, how am I going to circumcise the baby? Do you do it? He goes, no, I'm not going to do it. He goes, you need to get a moil.
Yeah.
And I said, and she'll come over. And he said, I have one that I'm Jewish, but we had a bris, but she probably will do it. So he sends me to interview this moil. And she is a rabbi.
It's a she-moil?
She's a she-moil. Rabbi, moil, pediatrician, lesbian.
Oh, I love her. She's a fucking idiot. She's a pediatrician and a moil. And oh my God.
She's a genius. Her name is Dr. Emily Blake. I mean, she's like a perfect guest for the show.
Oh, we got to have her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so anyway, I interview her and she goes, listen, I can come over and do the circumcision, but I don't just do a circumcision. I would think it should be a ceremony because there's a lot in our tradition about naming the child. And she goes, I know that you didn't grow up Jewish, but it's a very sacred tradition.
Yeah.
And I don't do I don't come over and do a medical procedure.
Yeah.
So here's the guidelines, the Kiddush cup, the whole thing. I had the Catholic priest. I had the rabbi. I had all friends, Jewish, Catholic, atheists, close friends over for a bris. And then it became this beautiful thing. And then I had my other two sons.
Isn't it such a nice ceremony?
It is, except Jim was because it's a really brutal.
Oh, I had to leave we had one in the synagogue and one at home. And because I gave birth to Ben and my ex gave birth to Henry. And I remember I had to walk out of the sanctuary.
That was Jim.
Him screaming.
You're Jim.
Yeah.
He was like, and I was just in the ear. Like
that's because Jim has a penis.
Right. But what about you? You don't have a penis.
I was in the back and then I came back.
Did you see because did they have the machine? There's a machine that protects the actual penis.
Oh.
So when you pull the foreskin, you cannot damage.
Right.
But it's like they twist it. It's like a vice.
I can. Okay. Right then.
And the little boys, they're
That's
like little tiny,
yeah. That's like taking a pool cue and putting it in your nipple and like twisting it.
Yeah, the babies, they're like so.
I know.
They turn red.
I know. It's horrible. It's okay.
But listen what Dr. Emily Blake said. She said that through the pain of this child's life, they're going to remember that his mom and dad were there comforting him. That's
I love
symbol.
Emily.
Yeah.
Emily, baby.
Dr. Emily Blake.
Also, it heals very quickly. Now,
yeah.
Have you, we're very pro mental health on this show.
Yeah.
We ask every guest if they've ever been on any sort of antidepressants because we want to break the stigma.
No, but everyone else in my family is, and I'm supporting that.
Oh, thank you, because I'm on them too, which is why I'm so obese. Now, also, it is called Kill Me Now. So
yes.
I always ask, what pisses you off more than anything? Like, what makes you so fucking mad? Like, you can't, like...
Well, I just wrote a book about how I don't think anyone should sweat the small stuff. So I don't want to seem disingenuous, but I am a person who inherently sweats the small stuff. And what just pisses me off more than, I have little quirks here and there, but the kind of the general thing is not paying attention to details.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like 99% of the world does not pay attention to details that seem really obvious to me. Mm-hmm. And it just infuriates me. I'm not mad at people, but it just makes me angry.
But it's because it's so obvious. It's like, if you're going to do this, these are the steps to get it done correctly.
Yeah.
I find that really annoying
but
too.
it's
like
part
sloppy,
of my type A.
Right.
Like it's just
but
kind
you
of like
can't be a producer without knowing every little, and you can't be a director without knowing every second and moment of whatever you're directing. It's.
But it's kind of unfair because I think that certain people are just built that way. Because to me, it's just like this glaringly obvious.
Sorry, you
thing.
can fucking figure it
I
out.
also, one of the other things, kill me now, is when people say yep or yup to me. It just, yep. I'm like, Judy, did you have a nice day? Yep.
It's so non-committal.
It's like, are you angry?
Mood. Yeah.
I mean, are you angry at me?
Yeah.
Yup.
This is what I hate.
Yep and yup. I mean, what
I hate yup, and I hate when if I wrote an article or if I did this and I said, "Oh, did you like it?" Yeah, it was good. I don't like the word good. Like I only like the word good if it applies to a person. Like they're a good person, but not my work. It's not good. My work is fucking amazingly great.
I would rather
asshole.
hear that it was terrible than good.
Yeah, good sucks. This is the other word I hate. Cute.
Oh, my mom hates the word cute.
I hate it.
My mom raised me. She was like, I was like, oh, look, it's cute. That's so cute on you. And I was like, cute means short, fat, and bow-legged.
I'm gigantic. And people will be like, oh, that looks cute on me. Nothing looks cute on me. Nothing. I'm fucking huge. Fucking assholes. I hate everyone now. Oh, that's a cute top. No, it's not a cute top. A fucking NFL player could fit in this top. I might have to put this in my act.
You do. Cute.
Cute.
That's great. Cute?
Oh, I saw your cute piece you did. It wasn't cute.
There is nothing cute about me. You're lying.
It's just so fucking. I might try that tonight. That's so good. I got a new bit, babies. All right. Will you come back? Or we should do another podcast. We should. Yeah. All right. Tell everyone about your book.
Okay, my book.
Where they can get it.
It's anywhere you buy books. It's from pre-order right now. You can go to JeannieGaffigan.com and see, like, if you have no idea who I am, all my stuff is on that.
Yeah.
All my stuff I've done. And also my husband, he's done a few things too. That's Jim. You might know him from. Yeah. Jeff.
Name of the book.
When Life Gives You Pears.
When Life Gives You Pears. Because the tumor was the size of a pear.
October 1st, it's being released.
That's awesome.
Buy my book.
And where are you doing any book events around the country?
I'm doing a book on October 1st in New York.
Where?
At Symphony Space on the Upper West Side.
I live right across the street from there.
Yes. I have a ticket for you.
Okay, good. That's awesome. So you're going to be on the stage. Who's interviewing you?
A comedian named Jeff Gaffigan, I think. Jim Gaffigan.
Wait, Jim.
Yeah, it's called In Conversation with Jeannie Gaffigan and moderated by Jim Gaffigan.
I love it. I love Symphony Space too.
And we're having a little party afterwards for friends and family.
I'm coming. Okay. I'm so proud of you. I don't know how the fuck you wrote a book with 5 kids.
I had to. I mean, you don't just kind of move on. You either wallow in self-pity for like 10 years.
How
and go,
long did it take you?
To write the book?
Yeah.
It took me like no time to write the book.
Okay, I gotta go jump out of the fucking window.
But here's the thing.
I just finished my book. I wanted to fucking kill myself.
Yeah, no, I'm never writing another book again, by the way. Yeah. Even though I heard that people say that. I recovered for a year. I wrote here and there, not intention with the book. Then the whole question about the book came up. I did the chronology. I put it together. At the end of 2018, I got the offer, and then I gave my manuscript to an editor, and then 2019 has just been, do this, do that, change this, take this out, it's too long, blah, blah.
When did you hand it in?
The first manuscript in January of this year.
Wow. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm in the process of waiting to hear what I have to cut out, and
it's brutal.
Is it worse than the writing part?
It's the worst. No, because you're going to be doing a lot more writing.
Yeah, I know.
And now it's deadlines. Now you're in deadline because you just turned in your manuscript, right?
Yeah.
So now you're going to get all these notes and you're going to address all the notes, which is then going to affect later in the book, which you're going to have to rewrite. It's a very difficult, long process. And you have 5 kids too, right? In a way. I mean, your sons are like 5, right?
Yeah, they're 5. Well, one is 5, who's going to be 24.
Yeah.
He's going from 5 to... No, 23. He's 23.
No, I mean, he's equal to like several kids.
Yes, I have one, and then I have the other one who's 18, 6'8".
Who's the basketball player?
Ben,
Yeah,
the younger
Ben.
one.
Yeah.
All right.
I see him on Instagram all the time. You're very...
I love my babies. I just love them so much.
They're so amazing, right?
Yeah. Look at your kids. They're
I
so
know.
adorable.
I know. I'm so happy that you know that without having to be like forcibly separated. Like I'm not comparing my experience to like people who at the border who had forcible separation, but I had forcible separation and I felt like I was going to die.
Yeah.
Of pain, of emotional pain.
Yeah. It's horrible. That's our next podcast.
We're going to solve all the world's problems together.
Yes, let's do it. Imagine. We'll have
a Catholic and a Jew.
And a Catholic and a Jew and the Catholic and the Jew and the Catholic. Oh, God, we're getting a look. All right.
We've been getting a look for an hour. Have you not seen the looks for 1 hour?
I know. I love you, Jeannie Gaffigan.
Thank you.
You're the best.
You're the best.
Jeannie's fucking book, you assholes.
Get 2. One for a friend.
Yeah. It's October. Look, we have the holidays coming up. Get that goddamn book, you motherfuckers. And go to Jeannie Gaffigan.
You could also go to Jeannie Dugan, but I have no idea who she is.
Jeannie Dugan?
I don't know, but can someone look that up?
Yeah, Jeannie Gaffigan. Oh, wait, here they go. JeannieGaffigan.com. Get pre-order on Amazon, which is what I am. And just remember, before you leave the house, to put something cute on, because that's really important. And as we always say, so long!
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.